Well, if you like abandoned places, it doesn't get any better than this. Sorry about all the noise, but I'm close to the highway. So, this, ladies and gentlemen, used to be a house. A very, very elaborate house. I'm in a place called Leitch Collieries. And this was the manager's house. His name was Mr. Hamilton. Look at this place. And there's a few signs in this building that shows you the history. So this was the Hamilton residence. And here's what it looked like at the turn of the century. I mean the last turn of the century, not this one. A spacious house for the manager. Even shows you the floor plan, what it used to look like. Three stories high. Wow. Another view from the house, what it used to look like. The house boasted indoor plumbing, hardwood floors, 3 fireplaces, and a dumbwaiter. And here's the power plant that supplied the whole coal mines with all the power. It even shows you inside too the floor plan of the building. Obviously it was run by coal, producing incredible steam power. Let's take a look at this place. As you can see, they put new beams in it. It was declared a Alberta Heritage Site in 1976. I'm pretty sure this is where all the boilers were at in the day. Bit of a machine shop. If it's broken, we can fix it. Quite the place. Look at the size of the windows and the door openings. I imagine this place got pretty hot. We'll go through the floor plan later, but now this is a bit of an auditorium. Steam powers the plant. Bit of a drainage ditch, I guess. Incredible. Looks like it was replastered at one point in time, probably to try to preserve it. And here's the floor plan, what it used to look like in the day. Picture of the building, the way it was. It looks like about the 20s or 30s. As you can see here, this is where I came in. So they had 4 boilers over there. Air compressors for the mines. train engine repair shop. Coal mining required considerable amount of power. Well, good thing they were mining coal to make the power. Bit of a schematic how the steam turbines worked. And we'll go looking around outside. And just before the power plant, there's a bit of a creek here. And I wonder if that creek used to channel inside the building. And that's where they got their supply of water. This contraption is called the tipple. I guess when it came out of the mines, it would be on a little bit of a hill. And the train cars would come out and hit those L brackets and then automatically dump the cars. And this was in the day where I think a lot of the work was done by hand. A lot of shoveling. That tipper mechanism used to be on that concrete block. And then here it shows how they sorted everything from what they call slack, a coal nut, and a coal lump, different sizes. And the slack went into the coke ovens, and that was used for the foundries to heat metal. We'll come across that a little bit later. And I guess there was more huge buildings here. The largest building on site was called the washery. So the way it worked, before the coke went to the foundries, it had to be washed. It says here because the smelters would not accept coke with ash content over 16%. The slack was cleaned at a rate of 50 tons per hour. That's incredible, even for nowadays. And just going back to this plaque again, the washery was built in 1910 by the Robert Schaefer Company of Chicago for $40,000. It stood over 90 feet high and was 60 feet squared. Incredible. I'm not sure if that's the original foundation. I imagine it was. Here's another plaque. The flats in the Creek Valley shows you pictures of the workers in the field. And before it was a coal mine, it was an RCMP outpost built in 1876, or sorry, 79 I think it was. If you want to read it, you're going to have to pause the video and read everything it says there. Here's the start of the coke ovens. And I forget what the total length was, 300 feet long or something like that. Absolutely massive. The amount of foundry quality coke that came out of here. And I'm pretty sure it said on one of the plaques that they never even used them all. They built something like 300 feet of them. So here's the start of the plaques explaining the coke ovens. And some 10,000 bricks were used to construct each rectangular oven. And I thought there was a plaque that explained what the temperature was. Coke oven diagram. Look at the picture of the coke oven. It's unbelievable. So it says by the time the Leitch colliery's closure after the war, I'm thinking the World War II, only the first 32 of the impressive array of coke ovens have ever been fired. No, sorry, I was wrong. If I read a little bit further, it says the First World War in 1914. Unbelievable. So this place has basically been abandoned since 1918, 1919. Crowsnest Pass Historical Corridor. I'll be spending a few days here because I found so many treasures here. The Frank slide is here. And here's a good picture actually of the Frank slide. And I'm assuming the town site was over here. And this is where the highway goes through now. And that whole top of the mountain came and literally buried the town. I'm sure we'll come across better pictures later. Kind of funny how there's still metal parts laying in the grass here. It looked like somebody attempted to remove this piece and gave up and dropped it right here. I'm thinking. I suppose I should have started over here. Welcome to a Leitch Colliery's Provincial Historical Site. So yeah, it was originally called the Policeman Flats too. In 1874, newly inducted Mounties, the Northwest Mounted Police. A bit of a monument to the Northwest Mounted Police. And then they discovered there was coal here. So they kicked the cops right out of here. Just kidding. So across the creek bridge again. And see if I can give you another side view of this whole powerhouse. I think I have to go all the way around the building. We'll start with the back side, I guess. It's quite the impressive building. And like I said, this was probably built the turn of the 19th century. I'm not sure the exact date of when it was started up. I imagine they dug out coal here for a few years before they started building like mad. Wow, what a building that is. Incredible. I'll bring you to the back side. Another look at the boiler room side. This would be the west side. Unbelievable. And this is the south side from the highway. As you could probably hear by all the traffic noise. It's Monday afternoon. And it's raining, but the amount of traffic is unbelievable. And just was when I was leaving my camping site, went on the road, and right in front of me this big truck slammed into this little car and crushed it. I don't think nobody was hurt, but and especially his truck had one of those big moose bars on it. So his truck had absolutely no damage, but the trunk from the car was pushed in right to the back seat. Yeah. Drive a big truck. Be safe. So that's pretty much the end of the tour of this place. If you like history and old abandoned buildings. Join me for the next few days because we're going to go around the Crowsnest Pass. My sister is just coming in from Calgary, so we're going to do this tour together. And then probably Wednesday or Thursday, when the weather's smarting up, we're going to check out a hot springs on the BC side of the border. So that would be fun. Hope to see you there.